En esta sección de Lee y escucha en inglés oiremos una pequeña entrevista al cantante del famoso grupo de rock Linkin Park, Chester Bennington. Al comienzo de este audio él responde a la pregunta de ¿cuál serían sus dos bandas más favoritas?
As a young person getting into music, I was definitely Stone Temple Pilots was a huge influence on me. Nine Inch Nails. I got to go see Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and Red Hot Chili Peppers performed all together on the same stage. That was pretty badass. At that time, I would have been like, those are my favorite bands! But there's so many great artists out there, it's hard to knock it down to just two. So I would have to just go with my gut, which would probably be the Beatles and back to Depeche Mode. I think are the two bands that I think consistently have had the most influence on how I think the quality of music should be. The creative process is just such an interesting thing, and it changes from day to day. So going into the studio, it could be one day, it could be, Mike and Brad banging spoons on that pillar and miking it to get a weird sound, and then creating something percussive out of it. I mean, I've played everything from, clapping, stomping my feet. We had a party in the studio once and recorded that. That's the beginning of Bleed It Out. Anything can happen in a day of the studio. And at the same time, we could have a room full of drums and plan a bongo session, and it just never happens because it just feels stupid to sit around and play bongos in a room, So, anything can happen in the studio. I don't care how creative you are. Creativity doesn't not come at breakfast time. It comes at the most random times in the world. It's honestly, that's one of the things I love most about being alive in this era is I could be on the toilet and at 40,000 feet over the Pacific Ocean and be I got an idea, and just pull my phone out and hum it, and whereas before I would have to spend the extra, the rest of the flight where there's 8 hours, I'd have to keep just repeating that thing over and over in my mind and hope I don't lose it by the time we land. It's pretty funny, but as a kind of tradition, I like to, remember what it was like to not have a record out and not be in a big band, and the excitement of hearing your songs on the radio for the first time. And keeping that excitement, because we go into every record, at least I approach every record as this is our first record and it could be our last. And so when this one's done, it doesn't mean that we get to ride the success of that one and for the rest of our careers. So I think that's one of the reasons why I also like making a lot of different styles of music and making different sounding records, is because it makes it feel like it's more fresh and it feels like it is a unique thing.